Wagwan, everybody. Welcome back. Glad you made it. It's a social production. Thank you for joining me, boys and girls, ladies and gents. Welcome back. If you're just joining me, if it's your first time, buckle up, buckle down. Where can you find these videos? On Instagram, follow me there. Subscribe on the YouTube channel if you'd like to catch the full-length episodes. If you'd like to fiscally, financially support the show, check out patreon.com/Rob Sadri. Videos drop every Wednesday and Friday. Let's get into it. Let's have some fun wherever you're tuning in from, whether it's Canada, down south in the United States, mi familia, Mexico, South America, over there in Europe, Asia, Africa, Papua New Guinea, Cuba, North Korea, South Korea, both the Koreas, all the stands, Turkmenistans, other stands. You know, there's so many stands, all the stands, Tajikistans, all the stands over there in Finland, over there in Scandinavia, over there in Yukon, back to Canada, wherever you're tuning in from. I hope you're having a great day. I hope you're firm. I hope you're moist. I hope you're hard. I hope you're soft. I hope you just got your titties twisted. And I hope somebody's I hope somebody is just chewing off, grabbing a titty, grabbing a nut, grabbing one of your pubic hairs and twirling it. I hope somebody's playing with your pubic hairs right now. If you're tuning in, nobody's playing with your pubic hairs. There's hope. Somebody will play with your pubic hairs. Just give it time. Sip to the gang. Welcome back. Now, there's so many things happening in and around the world right now. I don't know where we're gonna begin. I don't know where it's gonna go, but that's one thing we can guarantee around here, that we don't know where it's gonna go, and we don't know how it starts, and we don't know how it's gonna end. But I'll tell you one thing, by the number of buttons that are unbuttoned on this shirt, you can tell that there's gonna be some serious shit that needs to be taken care of today. Look how many buttons I've got unbuttoned. So know that there's something coming that's major, that needs these buttons. Maybe I'll if things got a little bit messier, if things got just a little bit messier, I would have unbuttoned one more. Maybe I will unbutton one more. Oh, we just did it right now. Serious matters are at hand, and we need to discuss certain things that are unraveling before our eyes, ladies and gentlemen. That is just, it's all fun and games until a beautiful fellow N-word gets his security shot at. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's all fun and games until somebody skirts. It's all, which comes first? The rhyme or the crime? What am I talking about? If you're just tuning in right now, shit happens quick on this planet, on this little marble that's floating in midair, and there's satellites up there, and there's asteroids just whizzing by, and there's a sun, and there's galaxies, and there's things that we don't even see. There's so much happening on a drop of a dime. Things could go sideways, but you're welcome. I'm here to take back a little bit of control together, and I will go ahead and I'll button one more button just because I feel like that's too many buttons we're not there yet. Need be, if the situation goes down and I need to take down another level of buttons, I will. But right now I think we're at 3-4 buttons down, which is ample amounts of buttons that are undone. And you're like, get to the point. What is it? Well, you don't like a little bit of build up? You don't like a little bit of foreplay? I never heard you complain about the 3 play and the 2 play and the 1 play, but when it comes to foreplay, ladies and gents, boys and girls, this shit's happening in this city in Toronto. That's where this is happening, right? That's where I am right now. My city, shit just went down yesterday. Okay, in the hip hop community, in the rap game, as you know, it's wonderful to be a consumer of rap goods. If you like rap, man, if you like rappers, and I'm not talking about people who work seasonally at the shopping mall. You go and get a little gift and you bring it to the little counter and you ask them to wrap it for you, and you pick out some wrapping paper and they do the wrap. I'm not talking about those guys. I'm not talking about, I'm not talking about those people that you got a little bit of extra moolah in your pocket. Whoa, what happened there? You had a good quarter. You had a great quarter, and next thing you know, you're sitting on extra cheese. Sure, you could invest into something that's a little bit long-term, but fuck it, you only live once, homie. So you're gonna go get your whip wrapped in some beautiful nude colors and stuff. colors that change in the sun and shit, because that shit's like cool for like, oh, and rims and stuff. But I'm not talking about those kind of rappers. I'm not talking about, we're not talking about Santa's little helpers in the North Pole helping Santa wrap gifts for the children and the adults who still get gifts. We're not talking about those rappers. We're talking about rappers who take words, manipulate words. These are word manipulators. They twist and turn words. They give them double, sometimes triple, sometimes quadruple meaning. So they drop a bar and you're like, man, on the surface, but if you look at it from far away, it's like 4 things happening all at once. So these are master word manipulators. Rappers, hip hop has been popping, but it's all fun and games until somebody grabs a gat and starts shooting up them streets. All right? How many did we get from each? Kendrick Lamar, Drizzy. How many? I have on my Spotify playlist for my personal. I have 2 of their songs each back to back. I got Rose, Drizzy, Kendrick, Drizzy, Kendrick, and there's other shit in there too. But right now, 2 I've been listening back to back. But that's the thing, man. That's the thing. It's all fun and games until ninjas start fucking. That's what it is, baby. So let's get into it. As a fellow ninja myself, I like to say that this whole entire episode is about bringing people together. I'll say this. We get down here and it's all fun and games, but at the end of the day, if I need to step in there, if Jourtective Rob Sadri needs to be dispatched to the crime scene, because there's been rhymes followed after crimes, Jourtective, put that on your Jourtective Rob Sadri, journalist detective, goddamn, journalist detective. Every time I'm like, you know what? Summer's around the corner. I've been Jourtecting for some time. I should take a little bit of time. Every time I come this close to taking a little vacay, ring, ring, pagers going off, faxes coming through. Last evening, right around sunset, I'm outside smoking a little cig after I had a little joint, trying to relax and calm down a little bit. Just think about my potential vacays that I could take as a Jourtective, walking on some beach with some sort of khaki shorts, and maybe I'll go topless with a little coconut in my hand, slurping away, and it's fucking, oh, this one's booze. It's all booze. It's a coconut shell, but I guarantee you that drink is it's all alcoholic. It's non-alcohol. It's all alcohol. What I'm trying to say is I was this close to taking a vacay. This close to going on my yacht, going on my, all right, it's not a yacht. It's a tiny blow-up raft suited for maximum 2 people, 2 medium-sized people. This thing can't take more than 3 people. If you're drowning in the middle of the ocean, I'm in my blow-up raft, and you're like, save me, get out of here. Room for 2. Should have thought ahead before you went swimming with the sharks, middle of the ocean. Now you're trying to drown 2 other people. Get out of here. I'll kick you in your face. Next time, come prepared. Oh, I got asthma. Well, you shouldn't have been in the water if you got asthma. Oh, my sunscreen is, the waves are wavy. My sunscreen's coming off. The SPF is coming off. You're freaking out. You're freaking out already, man. Why don't you calm down? Get a life jacket. Next time I want to go paddling in the middle of the ocean. Oh, you seem to have plenty of room in your blow-up raft. No, I don't. There's a cooler with beers in it, and I've got some worms, my fishing rod, and a companion. None of your goddamn business who it is. It's a companion. Who it is none of your goddamn business. Could be friends, could be more. But I was close to taking a vacation, right? Or last night, ring, fax machine. And again, I'm outside having a little drag. And all I see is a bird, a beautiful, majestic bird, AKA crow. A crow flew in, landed on a power line right above my head. Caw, caw, caw. doing crow shit and not budging either. Most of the times crows are like, birds, they approach you, but they don't approach you. But this one got really close, right above my head, looking at me directly from above, like trying to tell me something. I'm like, what is it? So I fly up on the power line. Now I'm right in its face. And it's going, and we're going back and forth. This went on for about 5 minutes. It took a dump on the pavement and it flew off. So I'm like, something's going on. So I took a dump right above myself from the power line, right on do it. Maybe next time a crow comes near you and starts caw-cawing, don't just be like, oh, beautiful bird. Try to talk to him. I was up there. I'm like, Grandpa? No, but you never know. You gotta try. Because it's like when animals come up near you, is it just animals or are they reincarnated other creatures? And it wasn't my grandpa, I'll tell you one thing, it flew off to the next power line and started, just fucking trying to like dominate territory or some shit. I don't know what it was trying to say, but I see a black crow, I'm like, shit's about to pop off. But also, it also means that, black crows are known for intelligence, memory, teamwork, murder, and we'll get to that shit. So right off the bat, I knew something was off when a caw gets in my face, starts yapping with his little beak. And I gotta get up there and caw myself. So took a shit, and I took a shit, and I get back inside. I'm like trying to I'm like, all right, maybe, it'd be nice to take a little, but then I'm like, I get a feeling. I'm like, let's check out the news and see what's out there. Just as I suspected. Just as the crow was trying to tell me, as it was relieving itself of the shits, but also telling me something. Probably ate too much. That was one, probably taking a dump and give me some privacy. Maybe that's what it was trying to convey. But I'm not gonna just leave it up to chance. I get up in its face, man. So nonetheless, I get up, scrolling through the news, trying to find out if anything's going on. And the next thing you know, in my city, in our city, in the six, crime of the highest degree, of the third degree. I still don't know which is higher, first or third. How are we measuring this thing? Is it third? That's like you go up by numbers, the worst it gets, or is it the lower? Oh, that's first degree. They're 2 degrees, that's middle of the degrees, fucking 2 degrees of shits was popping off. So I'm like, all right, what's going on here? We all have been enjoying the hip hop beefs, Drake, Kendrick, Rose, everybody getting in there. Other people, I was hoping for this to, get some sort of, I was hoping that we get rhymes. I was hoping we get beats. I was hoping we get nice tunes we can crip walk to. Some of us don't know how to crip walk, but nonetheless, we will try. I was just hoping for a little bit of rhymes, a little bit of games, a little bit of funs, a little bit of... But next thing, I hear that somebody did a drive-by shooting near Drake's mansion, which is roughly 10 to 15 minutes, 10 minutes probably, 10-minute drive from where I'm standing right now. So I am at the crime scene right now, you could say that. Sure, I could have, we're close. In terms of proximity, I could have gone down there myself. But first rule of fighting crime, do not get near the crime scene. Amateur mistake. A lot of people, crime goes down, they're like, let me know what's up. They get in the crime scene. Amateurs. God, how many times have crimes been ruined because amateurs got in there prematurely in the crime scene whilst leaving everything else around? That's like, because that's the thing. You don't go to the focal point of the crime scene to figure out what happened at the crime scene is important, sure. But you start from the outside. You go from the periphery. So I'm again 10, 15 minutes away from this shit. Somebody drove by Tuesday evening, or maybe late in the morning, I don't know what time to be exact. It was Tuesday, it happened yesterday, I'll tell you that. Fucking happened as you and I are just living our daily lives. Drive-by happens. Somebody did a drive-by shooting near Drake's mansion. Allegedly, I don't know the detail. I don't even know why I keep saying allegedly anymore. It's just one of those words that people say. I don't want to say it anymore because this is a comedy podcast after all, but shit does get real though. Hence the number of buttons that are unbuttoned on my shirt. And perhaps it's not a bad idea to throw in allegedly every once in a while so that people, whatever. Point is, security guard apparently got shot. Security guard apparently got shot. Okay, so there's now questions to be asked. Who is, Jourtective Rob Sadri. I'm just trying to do my job, and I don't care what it takes. I don't care how many people I gotta step on. I don't care who I gotta bring in to interrogate. I don't care how many sessions we're gonna have with me slamming a scoundrel against the wall, just grabbing him by the collar, slamming him against the wall. Speak or else. And they're like, and they're panicking, they're sweating now from their forehead. They're like, oh, the cameras in the interrogation room are recording everything on. And I take out my gat and I pop the old camera, because in this shit, when journalist detective Rob Sadri is on the case, cameras get turned off. No, cameras are on, but if there are other cameras that I need to turn, I will turn them off until we get some fucking answers out of you, you scoundrel scumbag, trying to ruin a good thing that's been going on. You can't let a couple of men's, who yesterday before our eyes were boys, but have grown up to be men's in front of her. You can't see brothers getting ahead. You gotta bring us down, man. Every time brothers are trying to just make it pop off artistically, you gotta get in there and you gotta get in there with your little. So people did them shoots and the bullets went whizzing by and flying. But now I don't know if Drizzy was in the compound in the mansion. I don't know, a family member. I don't know these because I'm on the outside. Again, it's easy to go to school and go run laps and tests and join the cadets or whatever it is, or do it properly. It's easy to do that and go to like police academy and have a blast for a year or two. I don't know how long it is, to be honest with you, but good. It's easy to build camaraderie, and teamwork makes the dream. And it's easy to run laps when you're chasing other beautiful, relatively young, but obviously not too young because they had to be a certain age to get the job. So now you're looking at nice, relatively young asses that are trying to get the job. And guess what? Them tight little butts aren't going to be so tight in about 10, 15 years, because we've seen some chunky monkeys out there badging it up, patrolling, trying to catch them right and dirty. We've seen that shit. But right now it's easy to do it that way, but it's easy to go to the academy and become. It's not easy. It comes with its challenges. A lot of things need funding, but it's not easy doing it from the periphery and doing multiple jobs too, not just one job, because it's easy, just detective. It's fucking easy. Sure, it may take a lifetime working your way up the ranks, climbing a ladder. One of those ladders that you don't even know it's not that sturdy, and all of a sudden it fucking is like 2-3 ladders in one because you wanted to get some extra height, but like you forgot to like something didn't click properly, and all of a sudden you're like halfway up the ladder and then the ladder fucking collapses and it's sliding, so you're like kind of like, oh my god, my fingers are gonna get fucked up between the ladder sliding in and out of itself. Oh, now you lost all your fingers and you're trying to make it to Jourtective school. There's no Jourtective school. There's only detective school, and there's journalism school. So you could again say that this requires a job for a professional, and there are not too many of us out there. I might actually be the only one. Fuck. I am the only one. I am the only journalist, Jourtective Rob Sadri. No responsibility is too much. No burden is too much. No weight is enough to bring these massive shoulders down. I will carry it on my back. So it's easy to do it from the inside, but I'm on the outside, Jourtecting. And I'll say this. When I find out who did this shit, I'm telling you, cameras are gonna be turned off. First I'm gonna just taser you for about 20 to 30 minutes. I'm gonna just taser you over a desk. Bent over a desk, just tasering the shit out of you, just trying to tenderize them ribs. Then I'm gonna salt and pepper your ass a little bit. Salt here, pepper there. Then I'm gonna put you in the fridge just to let it sink in a little bit. Then I'm gonna take you out. I'm gonna chop some onions right over your eyes. Then I'm gonna make you cry with onions. You like crying? Do you like shedding tears when there are no cameras? And when you walk outside and tell people you made me cry, they won't believe you because there's like, where's the evidence? And I'm like, bitch, this is an interrogation with a scoundrel and a scumbag, and people are like, man, you should prove he's a scoundrel scumbag first. I'm like, shut the fuck up. I'm trying to do a job here. Jourtective Rob Sadri out here with no bulletproof vest, with no clubs. I don't have one of those like billy clubs. I don't, with no billy club. Yes. They took my badge and my gun away as well. The department said, hand in your badge, because every time I go and solve crime, does half the city blow up? Yes, but do I solve? It's not that I'm not, I do the right thing now, whether or not people have their methods. I blow up half the city every time a crash, but that's the thing. You get one of those phone calls, or you make a phone call. Oh, somebody stole a little something from our little mom and pop shop. Most of the times, they say, you know what? It's this. Was it under $100 or whatever? And they let it go. Not this guy. I will luxury cars flipped in the air, gasoline spilt all over the fine Italian leather, and Zippos thrown in there. You're like, those cars didn't harm anyone, I know, but for the effect, come on, I'm blowing up $1 million cars here. So the point is, I will tear through the city until I find the culprit, the suspect, the dirty scumbag who's responsible for this shit. Trying to ruin a good rap battle, which could potentially turn into, we'll get into the potentials, but that's the thing. You think you can just get up in the six while I'm here? Because who knows, in 3 months and six months, a year, 2 years, who knows in the long term we'll all be, but mark my words, till I'm here in this city, nothing goes under my nose without me sniffing it. I don't care if is that the saying? Nothing goes under my nose without me, sniffing it. Yeah. You wanna create you wanna become a little sub artist at the local subway, and you think you're gonna just walk on by without me having a little sniff of your sub? I'm sniffing. You think you can just light up outside without me sniffing, trying to get that free secondhand? I'm sniffing. Son, don't get it twisted. Yeah. We come in here for the fun and games, but when the shit hits the fans, when you make me unbutton as many as buttons that I've unbuttoned right now, you dirty. But which came first? This is, first of all, when does it end, brothers and sisters? Brothers and sisters, when is black on black rhyme gonna end? No, wait. When is black on black crime? No, rhyme. When is, no, wait. Doesn't matter, but when will it end? When will we say enough is enough? Now, who started this? I don't know, to be honest with you, because as much as I know, I don't know. That I don't know more than I know. I'll tell you that. And I keep track of everything just a smidge. So I don't look into details. If you're looking for details, if you want thoroughness, get out of here. If you want just like nice scanning of the surroundings, then we're on top of that shit. I don't know who started it, but I know N-words have been exchanged from one artist to the next. And it was, at first, I wasn't sure if these are like friendly N-words tossed at each other or like, you know, aggressive N-words. And I heard, so I'm not there to like, you know, but N-words have been exchanged. People doubting each other's ability to say the N-word. People coming back saying, no, I know how to say the N-word. I say it and I say it hard. So I know some of that's been going on. Dirt's been dug up. Dirt's been dug up. Dirt's been dug up and tossed on the tables. Where's the dirt on the table? Who dug it up? Both sides, dirt digging. And it's all fun and games. So somebody takes out a gat and goes grrr. With an Uzi. I don't know what it was. I don't know what the weapon was. Again, and it's easy for you to sit there and say, go to the crime scene if you're only 10 minutes away. It's easy for you to, but Jourtective Rob Sadri has this, first what I like to do is I like to narrow it down. So nobody, first of all, I'm locking down the city. You're in Toronto, nobody's flying in, nobody's flying out. Till we find out what the fuck is going on. Let me just say that again. Nobody's flying in, nobody's flying out. Nobody's driving in, nobody's driving out. Nobody's walking through, and nobody's walking through again. Like nobody's walking out, nobody's walking in. That's right. Nobody's nobody's paragliding in, paragliding out. Get out of here. If nobody's paragliding in, you don't think I will stop people from paragliding out? Nobody is ziplining in, ziplining out. Nobody is taking boats, ferries, paddle boards. If you're in a body of water right now, get out. I'm shutting it down. Nobody's leaving Toronto. In fact, I might even go federal for this shit. Nobody's coming into Canada. Yeah, nobody's going out of Canada. Nobody's coming in and out of Canada right now. Okay, fine. Let's narrow it down. Because maybe that's a little. Maybe we'll okay. Maybe we'll say this. Okay, old people can go in and out. Oh, if you are like 99, you can go in and out. I don't care. Because we do gotta, when it comes to crime, you do gotta narrow it down. A lot of people, because again, I only have 24 to 36 to potentially 48, maximum 72 hours, and I don't negotiate with scumbags. So the clock is actually ticking on your side, fam. Tick tock. Tick tock. Digital? Well, digital clocks don't make a sound, so numbers flip, flip. Flip, 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 flip. Fucking analog though, tick fucking tock. And that's why I like analog clocks way better. Because when it comes to dictating time and making sure people know what time it is, tick tock. Okay? You only have 72 hours to turn yourself in. Narrowing it further, babies. If you're like, what if they're aggro babies? What if they're gang babies? Okay, if you're like 5 and under, leave the city right now. Leave the city. Okay, no, wait. Okay, let's do it. If you're 18 and under, leave the city now and get in as well. If you want to get in now, but like get out. If you're under 18, get in and get out right now because the adults are in the room now. Jourtective Rob Sadri's I'm gonna be patrolling. And by that I mean I'm going to be taking a lot of sips of my coffee, a lot of wearing dark shades, a lot of me leaning against trees in the neighborhood. And you ask me, what are you doing? And I'll be leaning hard on the trees in the neighborhood, scanning, sipping on a coffee, smoking a joint, following it with a cigarette. Maybe, I don't know how many times, to be honest with you. A lot of things are uncertain these days, so I don't know how many cigs, I don't know how many sips of coffee it's gonna take. A lot of things, you're just going through life, really not knowing what's up. Is that we're here now, that's what's up. So, I try not to think about those stuff too much, but nonetheless, it is good to think. So let's just say this. Narrowing it down. Let's narrow it all the way down. If you are, who did that? Okay, let's go through the who. The logical explanation is to look within the circles of the camps that are involved, but who knows how far the rabbit hole goes? You're asking, why are rappers in rabbit holes? Yeah, now you're starting to, why are rappers in rabbit holes? Who made these rabbit holes for them to be large enough for these rappers to be able to slide in and out of easily? Who are these giant rabbits creating giant holes all over the place for rappers to be getting in and out of? Do you happen to know a large rabbit that's digging holes, creating a space for rappers to crawl in and out of? Does this have something to do with the furry community? Specifically the wabbits? Shit is crazy, son. I'm beginning to think everything's... Man, I think we might be onto something. So let's narrow it down. Who are my prime suspects? I'd like to speak with people who, again, it's easy to look at the camps, the rap, the hip hop community and say people that know people that know people that know people, but I like to, again, start from the outside. First, let's narrow it down who it is and who it isn't. I've always, I don't trust the Swedish. If I'm being honest with you, the Swedish, because you don't even see too many of them. Where are they? Like, I know they're there. You see a bunch of, the Swedes, man. I'm gonna just let's put a pin in the Swedes for now. And the Swiss too, while we're at it, Swiss. Because the Swiss are always like on the fence, I don't want to pick a, and all of a sudden they're like, what? So Swiss and Sweden, you're on notice. All y'alls. Who else is in this? Recently, I just heard about this as well. In China, apparently, there was a zoo and people gathered there. And apparently they were eager, willing customers who were willing to pay good money to watch a couple of cute panda bears. The black and white bears, the most interracial of bears. They were paying good money for it, and they paid money. And apparently, turns out that these pandas were not even real pandas, they're just dogs colored to look like pandas. And everybody was super upset. They wanted their money back. Again, I don't know the full deets of the story, but people were upset in China because they were told that they're gonna view pandas, but apparently it's just dogs colored as pandas. So if you were to extrapolate, I'm not quite sure how they will feel about other things that look like other things but are in reality not the other thing. And I myself have do I like to, do Do you wanna go, do you wanna go get a burger and then you're eating a burger and halfway through you find out that it's like, KFC instead of it's chicken? No, because you're like, oh, I thought I was having a burger and it's chicken. Do you like? But sometimes I personally, I might be in store for a burger, but then it happens to be a chicken, and I'm like, oh, it's actually great. This chicken's fucking great. You know what? Will I, let's not make this about me. This is more about what people, I'll say this. If people are ordering, sex toys that are advertised to have 5 different positions, but it comes and it only has 3, 2 are just more like decorative, do they have the right to be upset? Is this a case of false advertising? What else don't we like? If let's just stick to animals. What if I told you could what if you're like, I want to go watch a shark swim in the ocean or whatever, aquarium. I don't even know if and you go there with your family and you pay good money, and then all of a sudden halfway through, because they're in the water, the paint starts coming off and it turns out to be a dolphin painted to look like a shark, and everybody's disappointed. Unless you happen to enjoy dolphins and that's what you were really looking forward to seeing, but you don't want to verbalize it. But I'll say this, if the Chinese people are upset at the pandas not being real pandas and being dogs, in fact, I can only extrapolate and assume that they're going to feel a certain way about the trans women. So, having said that, the Chinese sus right now, added to the Swedes and the Swiss and the Chinese. If you're in Canada, you're not leaving, you're not coming in, you're not going out. Who else? I'll say this. The indigenous people of Canada, you're also on the list. You are also on the list, because you know what? Because too many times people leave you guys out of the lists. That's why you're one of the prime suspects on my list. You're welcome, my beautiful indigenous brothers and sisters. You're prime suspects. Every time they're doing statistics, they don't count y'all's, or they do, but like it's various like fragments, little teeny type. But I'm counting. You're top 5. Top 5 in my list of prime suspects, the indigenous. Why? Again, nowhere to be seen most of the time. Out there, doing things. Not paying taxes, which is great. I'm happy for you. So, yeah, I'll say running casinos. Fucking, who else is involved in the casinos? Prime suspects. That's right. So we got the Chinese, we got the indigenous people of Canada, the natives, got the Swiss, got the Swedes. Let's narrow it further down. I will say that, who else? The fucking Senegalese, man. The Senegalese from Senegal. And I don't know why, but it's just a hunch. It's just a feeling. Senegalese on the list. Prime suspects. Not going anywhere. Let's narrow it further down. Let's narrow it all the way down. If we were to narrow, because we go through the list of who it is and who it isn't. Who it is, let's just say this. If we were to look at the camps, my brothers and sisters with melanin. The more melanin, the more you're on this list. The more melanin, the more you're on this list. I'll say this. And yeah, but I will, when I'm finished solving this, whether I actually have a real suspect or the actual culprit is irrelevant to the case. At the end of 72 hours, somebody's walking into the station. I will get my confession. This will be the greatest episode ever dropped as a podcast, as a podcaster, as a global sensation who Jourtects on the side just to help the community out. I don't care who it is. If you're either gonna be the real culprit, or if I have to go out there on the streets in 2 days, if you don't show up in 24, 36 hours, I will go out and grab the first person that looks sus to me, and I will bring him. I will beat the interrogation into you, out of you, in and out of you. Cameras again. Fucking Epstein shit, son. Epstein shits. Mess with the wrong ones, fams. In the 6. So I'll say this, man. I don't, is there how do we solve this? Luckily, no one except for the poor security guard got shot in the thigh, near the groin. Who is behind all this? We'll figure it out. But since nobody's gotten more injured than how do we resolve this? First, we got to figure out who's between the two rappers that are now beefing hard, between two of our favorite rappers out there who are beefing. We got to find who the winner is and who the loser is. This way we will find the ending to this story that nobody saw this coming. Who could have seen this coming, really? So many things in life happen that you just look at and say, who could have seen this coming? I'll give you an example. In India, we, as a collective, as a human species, after hundreds of thousands of years of evolution, research, advancement in technology, creation, making mistakes, doing it better again, pouring in resources, hiring the best of the... We did a lot of research, and in India, they were in need of making a solar panel farm, and after all the experts got together, the scientists with the monies and the brains, and this is the biggest solar panel farm in the world, and they're like, where are we gonna build this thing? And they built it on water, a body of water which happened to come in with waves, and apparently it ruined the largest solar panel farm on planet Earth. And once again, certain things happen, and we're like, who could have seen this coming? Because a body of water is one of the most stable places where you can firmly stand. Your belongings, nothing ever moves on water. Blindsided, I'll say this. It's like having the rug pulled right underneath you, and it sucks. But again, who could have seen this coming? It's one of those things. But we'll be back at it again, building more water panel farms on the water. Because again, if you're looking for stability, water. If you're looking for safe ways of mixing electrical equipment, but again, all your life you've been told don't mix water and electricity. Don't put a wet fork in the power outlet. Do not, if you see loose wires on the street, do not jump and just, do not wrap yourself, do not take a bath and then drenched in water go wrestle a couple of loose wires that are electrical. They say that. They say, they say a lot of things. And they say, where's the safest place to build your home? On the water. So with that, again, a lot of things, people just don't know where it comes from, how it happens, and everybody gets surprised. And yes, despite our best efforts. So I'll say this, ladies and gentlemen, again, I don't care who I gotta bring in. I don't care how I'm gonna get this confession. I know with your help, if you are responsible for this shooting, DM me, leave a comment, put a thumbs up there for the algorithm, and maybe, just maybe, I will be a little bit lenient on your sentencing when I'm handing out sentences. Maybe I'll be a little bit lenient. But I don't care who it is. I don't care if if you're in my vicinity within the next 36 hours and I feel like like TikTok and I still haven't come up with an actual suspect, I will bring you in. You will confess. You'll like it. Because I got a job to do. It's my job as a Jourtective, as the world's only Jourtective, to save superstars, Kendrick Lamar, Drizzy, and also saving hip hop, which is even bigger than just two superstars. It's like the galaxy, it's like the multiverse that encompasses the superstars with it, but I'm saving all of it. All on me. There's a lot of responsibility. God, the walls are closing in as the time goes tick tock and the clock is on your side now. And the balls are, this is a fucking recess. There are no balls. And we're way past, way past playing games that involve balls, and you're on notice. So turn yourself in right now and I will beat you a little bit less. I'll mostly just work elbows, just elbows. None of the fists, just elbow. And I will, if you close your eyes and relax, it'll feel like a massage. If you can just not put up a fight and let me just work the elbows, because I got an image which just, reads wrath, just reads power dynamics, that just reads good cop, bad cop, but like both in one body. So it's like a bad cop. I don't know what I don't know what it reads, to be honest. But I know what it will. But I know what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to. Okay. It's not gonna be easy. But I will come up with. So we're gonna have to find out who the winner of this is, who the loser is. They've been going back and forth. The easiest way to do it, of course, would be to we'll decide like this. Whoever is darker wins. Not the way, but you could be light and still dark, man. You could be light and dark. So that one's hard. That one's hard to like. If we're gonna, whoever is not, whichever of the two is more gangster wins. Whichever of the two is more gangster wins. That doesn't mean just because, okay, I get that you don't actually have to be, you're not physically actual gangsters, because like gangsters, they die young, most of them. Gangsters die young, or they're not public, or if they are public, they're extremely white collar and they're worth billions and they have a lot of offshore accounts. Okay. You yourself don't have to be gangster, but whoever has the most connections to gang activity is the winner of this beef, and we'll wrap it up Whoever's got the most gangster affiliations wins the street cred, the highway cred, the sidewalk cred, the tarmac cred, the escalator cred, the just a nice sand beach cred. You win the gravel pavement cred. You win, if there's a bridge cred, you'd win that cred as well. Tunnel cred, and it's hard to choose between tunnel cred and bridge cred. For me, it would be whoever has the most tunnel cred, to be honest with you, just because like bridges just don't do it for me. As a matter, I'll make it clear on this podcast that Jourtective Rob Sadri is not a fan of bridges. Metaphorical bridges, yes. Oh God, do I love two things that are apparently disconnected, but like connected in real. I like metaphorical bridges, but like the actual physical bridge in and of it's just, there's something about me saying if we could tunnel into things. I like holes, right? You know me by now, some of you. I like holes. So if we could build I like tunnels, and for that reason, it's like tunnels can go in the water, bridges can't. Tunnels can go in mountainous regions, bridges are stupid. Tunnels can be there but not be there because you don't see it, because it's where? It's underwater. It's in a mountain. I can't see it. I don't know where it is. Where are you? I can't hear you. I'm in a tunnel. It's great oh man, if you want to get out of a conversation, get in a tunnel. Bridges are like, I can hear you loud and clear, John. And they'll call you back, man. They will call and you're just driving as fast as you can, hoping for a tunnel, but guess what? They're not available as much as tunnels are not available as much as bridges. So I'll say this, whoever's got the most tunnel cred, whoever's got the most tunnel vision too, whoever's got the most tunnel vision and tunnel cred, whoever's worked in a tunnel, whoever knows people that have worked in, whoever knows, okay? So those are some methods we could see who's better. Whoever has between the two, whoever's got the biggest heart, because in life, nothing is as important as the heart. When it comes to like bodily organs, that is. Okay, some argue some might argue that the brain is actually one of the most, it's hard to, whoever's got more body, whoever's got more, whoever weighs more, whoever has got a bigger soul is the winner of this beef. Man, these are all very subjective. Whoever's got more bangers. It's close. It's really fucking close. This will have to go on until eternity. Actually, I don't think we can solve this. I'm beginning to think that we might not be able to solve this, but that's what they want us to think. And that was just a test for you. We can solve this. We totally can. Because if you really think about it, this actually paints a bigger picture of what is happening at larger society at large. Two people beefing, two people who seem very much at odds with each other, two people who are seemingly different, yet if you look closer, very much the same thing is happening on a large mass scale. You could see this, you could say that Drake and Kendrick are actually this popping off at each other. You know, the words fine, and then the popping. You could say that Drake and Kendrick are basically like a little nugget of the larger picture of what is happening at this, which is a beautiful world that we're living in. But sometimes, you know, I think it's about sex and war. It's about sex and war. I think it narrows it down to these, because you could say whether it's individuals or different parts of larger societies, sort of like looking at each other and they're like trying to figure one another. And people are always doing that, right? We're looking at each other and we're trying to see how do we merge and work together. And sometimes you want to merge and work, and sometimes it's with easier parts. There's easier parts of society than merge and work together. There's other parts and this will get better and better through time. I think we've gotten way better. We're at the best times right now, no doubt about it. But this, I think, it basically comes down to, it's refined to sex and war. And there's times where different people look at each other and they're like, yes, we're gonna sex, and it works. And sometimes it doesn't work as easy. Sometimes there's a little bit of, before we sex, we got a war. We got a war before we sex. And if you look at it, the biggest wars have led to the most coming together, most interconnecting of seemingly different people. You know, it's we could learn that from wars, because then some might argue that wars are a necessity to bring peace. I'm so confused myself, because if you create war, then you force people to move. And ironically, what you wanted was for people to stay in one place, but then the wars caused those people to move to another place. So then now you're gonna have to sex. So all this is about sex and war. I think at the end of the day, I think we can, if Drake and Kendrick can solve this, I don't see a reason why. I don't see a reason why the Middle East can't have peace. I don't see a reason why parts of Europe and Africa who are in upheaval right now can't have peace. I'll say this: what we need to do is realize that instead of war leading us to sex, we could just sex right now. You could just sex right now and you solve all your fucking problems right now. People would just interracially just doing more sex, because if you end up having a little bit of everything in you, there's no point of being like, oh, this guy, that guy, this guy, that guy, that guy, this guy, that guy, this guy, this guy's that guy's this guy. So eventually what I'm trying to say is that Filipino people are the future of humanity. I think once we come down, it takes time to get everybody to turn Filipino. You just want the right amount of almond skin colors with Asiatic eyes, a little bit of Spanish, a little bit of the, white, black, get it all in there. Everybody turns almond skin, Asiatic eyes, great hair, works great in the tropics, just as well in colder climates. If we just merge people together as one we could, eventually it will just become all of it would just turn into, the Middle East, if you could just turn it all into one, this is a concept that I've been working on aside the other things that I work on. I'd like to introduce Jourtective. That's right, Jourtective. Let's just say I want Jourtective. If you could just combine all three world religions, the major Abrahamic ones. The other ones are major too, don't get me wrong. There's like a billion of Indians and Hinduism and all that. So but I was like the ones that are beefing. We just merge Jourtective. You become Jourtective. For whoever you become Jourtective, and essentially you sex together. And because everybody's got a little bit of everything, there's no point of pointing the fingers. So to conclude, I believe everything kind of it's just us figuring out, are we gonna fuck now? Are we gonna fight then? Fuck. Eventually everybody will fuck. So I'm just saying, put down the guns. But I guess sometimes people don't want to fuck, and sometimes I guess it takes a little bit of motivation. Now, I'm not saying I'm not, me, but all I'm saying is it's a little bit. So, but let's get back to Drake. If Drake and Kendrick can settle their beef, I'll say this. It's very simple, actually. We lock them in a room, we get them together, because right now, before the gat went off, we could say that the rap game was just something to hip hop was happening. It was always happening. But right now we're having a moment right now. Rap game just is now being tossed back and forth right now between two individuals. You could say the rap game right now is a double-sided dildo. And you could say that Kendrick and Drake are not sharing with anybody else, that's what you get with a double-sided dildo. There's only two people who can ride it. But from the friction that's caused by the back and forth, the metaphorical dildo that is hip hop right now, there's fire, which is good. Friction, fire. I believe actually that's how cavemen and women actually figured out fire, because but it's really hard if you think about it, go back in time. It's probably like, just a lot of dry humping and then eventually fire. So we're on the right track. We are on the right track. I believe this is all a good thing. We lock him into a room, right? Because this can only go down in so many ways. We lock him into a room. We lock you, Kendrick. We lock you and Drake in one room. And you two boys who were yesterday boys, today men's. People who... men's. And we lock you in a room. And you don't come out until you 69 and make love. And none of that homo shit right here. This is just pure men's putting aside feelings, putting aside emotions, realizing what's at stake here, and just 69ing and just scissoring until you come up with more similarities than differences, until you realize that what you wanted to do really at the end of the day was just fucking hug it out. And what you wanted to do was collab. What you wanted to do was to turn it, what you wanted to do was to get surgery and just attach you wanted to go Siamese on this shit, but I know people are not ready, because two of the greatest Siamese up together in one body. Now it's like, how do people deal with this? Try winning a rap battle with a Siamese rapper. Good luck. So all you wanted to, but I get it. People were not there yet. Maybe in like 500 years, of course, when everybody's Jew, Islam, Filipino looking people, whenever, maybe then, but not now. Now we're gonna have to put you in a room, or you're gonna have to 69. You're gonna have to share a double-sided dildo, and there's only limited lube, boys. There's only limited lube. So if you thought we're gonna give you, okay, you are superstars. Unlimited lube, boys. I'm not gonna lie. The amount of work you've put in all these years, banger after banger, unlimited lube. But if they said, who gave you guys extra lube? Don't say Jourtective Rob Sadri, because again, I do have a reputation on the streets, especially in the tunnels. Reputation, very important. I gotta maintain it. Hard ass. That is not looking to build relationships, or, just a tough motherfucker who will interrogate the shit out of you in any weather condition, dry, icy cold, in a little hotel made out of ice. I will, yeah. Alaska shit, yes. In the driest desert heat, interrogation, intense, yes. So, you make love, and you become homies, and you put all this behind you, and let's take care of this beautiful security guard that got shot as well. Let's how you say, bless them for life now. Let us all bless them for life, which means let's give them, I don't know how much, to be honest with you. It's fucking Wednesday. I'm not good with numbers. Let's make this man a billionaire. It's not for me. Let's make this man a billionaire together, ladies and gentlemen. Bless him for taking the unnecessary shot that was undeserved, but let's make him a billionaire anyway. If somebody can start a GoFundMe program. I don't know how these things work, but the point is, ladies and gentlemen, that it's either that or this continues and somebody actually ends up getting really hurt, and then people need to go to jail. God forbid, you go to jail. The next thing you know, if we have our, we might end up, if I don't take control of this, we might end up with two of the world's greatest rappers behind bars. Two of the world's greatest rappers behind bars in one prison. Two of the greatest rappers alive in one prison, having to now face gang members. Their lives depending on one another. They soon realized that their differences that were so different on the outside were actually the bonds and similarities that are gonna keep them alive in here, man. So in prison, you will learn to braid each other's hair. You will sing rhymes to each other in prison until you find similarities and put your differences. You will find that one, you're both fathers. Two, you are strong black men. And as one, and I did this and again. And as one strong black man to two other strong black men out there, I'll say this again, I just want to see you shine. I just want to, it's so you could go in prison and have to watch your backs for people who create prison-made shanks, and together you will work, again, finding similarities, you will find similarities, you will join gangs in the prison, seemingly different gangs, orchestrate a big jumping sesh on the other gangs. As soon as the jumping sesh is about to go down, you then approach each other as the gang leaders. 69 in the prison, right in front of the fellow gang bangers on opposite sides, showing them that it is thus love that brings us together, and it is a shared space that we are all sharing, whether it's a tiny little prison or the prison we call life. Or the you get it, confined spaces. What even is acreage? The point is that, ladies and gentlemen, it's not about what you have, who you know, where you are. Important thing is that at the end of this fucking podcast, I need somebody to come in here and confess, man. Because I'm telling you right now, I am ready to take credit for saving hip-hop. I am ready to take credit for saving 2 lives, multiple lives, because this could have fucking just spiraled and gone awry real quick, but I nipped it in the butt, so you're fucking welcome out there. And I'll sacrifice anything to get that. If there's, again, elderly in the way, I will kick them to the curb. Babies on tricycles, step out of the way, son. Step out of the way. Grown-ups are at work. I will, again, any means to get that interrogation, to get the confession, I will do it. But again, I don't want you boys to have to sit in the prison and give each other back tattoos while you're finding commonalities when we can just do it on the outside. Like, I don't want you to sit outside and give each other back tattoos. I'd like you to, continue perhaps this rap battle if you like, knowing that there is no GOAT. That the GOAT is in fact maybe not even a term that you'd like to aspire to be because of Baphomet and shit, because you don't want to be the GOAT, because the GOAT is the false idol and shit, because the GOAT is the devil actually, really, because this guy is half man, half, the feet are hooves, man. So perhaps it's time for us to say, what is happening? Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, today was a loose sesh. Today was a fun sesh. I love you all. Once again, Jourtective Rob Sadri has saved the day. I will continue to do this. I will not stop. I can't stop. You know that. I think we've all learned a valuable lesson here today, and that it's about the algorithms, really. It's about the algorithms. It's one valuable lesson that we've learned, and Go ahead and follow me on Instagram. Watch me slowly but surely at a steady pace skyrocket into the stratosphere. So follow me on Instagram. Subscribe on the YouTube channel if you like seeing things skyrocket into the stratosphere at an extremely slow but steady, which is the key component part of any long form of, if it's a sprint, then it's okay to pop out the old nitrous oxide and get a little bit of speed behind. But if it's a marathon with yourself, so steady wins the race. Slow and steady. Seashells by the seashore. Slow and steady. Giant turtle shells are the answer to clothing items. Okay. And all we need to do is remove the turtles from the giant turtles need to be removed and stripped. That's the moral of this story. The giant turtles need to be removed, sucked out of their large turtle shells, and we should be using the turtle shells instead of clothing, really. So follow me if you like to see the slow and steady growth of a man who was one day himself was to a boy, but is now a man's. So follow me on Instagram. Subscribe on the YouTube channel so you get the weekly reminders and watch the videos. If you don't want to watch the videos, put it on in the background so your animals could watch it. Put it on the background. Your grandma at the old care facility, she's drooling and you're eagerly waiting for her to meet her maker so that you could perhaps get a little bit of a, at least your foot in the door for the old housing market, because after all, nobody likes communism. And it seems like grandma's the only one that's got your back, maybe. Oh, that's about to be determined only when the time is right. But that being said, follow me on Instagram, subscribe on YouTube, and check out patreon.com/Rob Sadri if you'd like to financially, fiscally support the show to watch it again, slowly but surely at a steady pace, sky fucking rocket. I will be there up in the stratosphere because I'm not leaving the stratosphere. I'm not leaving the moon because it's what happened to the moon. It's easy for you to say that, A, we went to the moon and we never went back because we did it once and it's great. It's easy to say that. B, we didn't go to the moon, we faked it, nobody went, but we needed to say we did just to, for morale. C, option C, what nobody likes to talk about. We went there, we started to build little huts and little moon colonies, but in fact, said to the masses, we've never gone back to the moon, where in reality, bases are built on the moon. For the elites, for the super rich elites, the extremely, extremely elite of the elite. And so that is why I will steadily make my way to the stratosphere to figure it all out. Because I know one thing, the Chinese government is going to be they're going to try to build moon bases. So unless we've already built moon bases, then I could rest easy. If we've not built the moon bases, it's time for us to do what we do best as Canadian-American, American-Canadians, Westerners. Out-capitalize ourselves. Invest heavily in space because nobody's going to dominate that shit unless it's us. Until next time, Jourtective Rob Sadri signing out. It's going to take me a while to upload all this, but I'm signing out. Get out of here. And again, turn yourself in right now, you dirty scumbag.